So, if you are just tuning in, welcome to HDPR Live. I'm your host, Jamie Irvin, and today we have Henry Cook from Cook Brothers joining us. Henry, welcome back to HDPR Live.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
So, today we're going to talk about using technology to sell more heavy duty parts. But before we get into that, I'd like to talk about how we first connected. Can you tell the audience about the Real Men Wear Pink campaign?
Sure. We first connected when I put something out on my LinkedIn profile. This is my fourth year with the Real Men Wear Pink here locally. We're in the southern tier of New York, northern tier of Pennsylvania region. The Real Men Wear Pink is a national campaign put together by local American Cancer Society representatives. They go out to recruit community members who will wear pink every day throughout the month of October to promote breast cancer awareness.
Yeah.
What's nice about the Real Men Wear Pink campaign in particular is it doesn't just go to try to create funds to fund the cure. It's also creating funds to fund the care of the individuals who are stricken with cancer.
It's a terrible disease that has afflicted so many families, mine included. And I just was, when I saw it, I just was compelled. I wanted to support it. I think it's a great initiative, and I think it's important that, you know, we as men participate, right? Sometimes we are reluctant to participate, but we need to be a part of the solution, and this is one way that we can. So when we're done today's episode, I'm going to have some information about how people can support your campaign, and I'm going to encourage them to do so. But we got to give them something. So let's talk about selling more parts. It's on the minds of every person who's in the parts game, and this is really a role that you play in your company. So I want to first, let's kind of go back in time a little bit. What did we do in the past with sales and marketing that's no longer working?
Well, we're a 102-year-old company, so we have a lot of experience in doing things in the past, and we've been pretty successful doing it, but everybody needs to adapt. The things that we used to do that are no longer working really is we would go out and make a deal with a supplier and create a special price for a special product, probably something that they were overstocked on. And then we would put out flyers and send them out to our outside salespeople, out to our branches. They'd eventually maybe get into the hands of a customer, maybe not, because we it's more paperwork that a sales guy's got to carry around. And, people would take advantage of it if they happen to see it, but it wasn't a very targeted effort in how to bring those products to our customers' hands.
Yeah, I've been a sales account manager for many years in the past, working for different aftermarket heavy-duty parts companies, and that task as a sales guy of driving around with a flyer, it's been done to death. And as you say, it's not very sophisticated, not very targeted. You'd always like to slide a box of donuts, but it always killed me when I saw that the competitor brought a bigger box of donuts. I was like, come on, and then I remember one time someone tried to bring muffins, and that did not go over well. The guys didn't want muffins.
Where's my donuts?
Yeah, where's my donuts? So 102-year company, that is amazing that we're talking to you about adopting technology. I love that. So in your role at Cook Brothers, you're responsible for leveraging technology to sell more parts. That's your job. What kind of technology are we talking about?
Well, you name it, we are looking at it. Everything, some simple stuff to social media campaigns and email marketing. You would think would be simple. Honestly, email marketing has been a little challenge for us because our sales guys don't want to collect that data from their customer because they think that we're going to be sending them too many emails or spamming them or something. And that's been one of our real struggles, just getting our customers' email addresses. They're happy to share the email address of their accounts payable department, but they don't want to give their own as somebody who's making a decision on buying parts. So we have to keep trying different ways. So we have a CRM program that's built into our enterprise system that we've got to get our guys using that more often. We have a business intelligence program that can take all of our sales data and kind of spit out some nice reports to show buying trends and predict future buying behaviors. And of course, the granddaddy of it all is a fully e-commerce site where people can just go online, place an order, and it flows right through our system as if our parts counter guy typed the order in.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is when you talk about social media, I always talk to people about omni-channel. This is omni
Yeah.
technology.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
not, there's no silver bullet. It's just using the right technology for your company to serve your customer better. Now,
Right.
when it comes to that, like kind of a gap or a mental block about giving up your email address, I do know that in my experience, the salespeople of yesterday, the last sales job I took several years ago, but I was replacing someone who'd been doing it for 50 years. He was 70.
Okay. Hmm.
And when I took over that account, the younger guys, let's say 40 and under at the time, were like high-fiving me that I would text with them, right?
Right.
Because the other guy
Right.
wouldn't.
Right. You're right.
So I see personally, I see adoption trends towards technology getting stronger in the next 5 years, not
For
weaker.
sure.
How do you feel about that?
I agree 100%. I mean, we have young sales guys and we have old sales guys. We have people who use technology to their benefit with their own social media accounts, connecting to their customers personally. And we'll put a special on our website, and they'll blast it out to their own customer base. So we have some guys individually that are doing that on their own. Um, but of course, as an organization, we have to have a united front in how we're going to bring this to our customers. The trend, of course, that we see is today's consumer and tomorrow's consumer in particular, they're going to be more self-educated than the buyers of yesterday. And part of that is due to kind of shift in the supplier, the way the supplier is handling bringing their product to market. It used to be they would go to the distributor and the distributor would bring it to the customer. More and more, the supplier is trying to emotionally connect their brand to their end user, which kind of changes what we need to do a little bit. We now, the knowledgeable parts guy is always going to be important, but we have to do a better job of making sure that once that supplier connects to that end user, it's very easy for that end user to buy that supplier's product from us.
Right. Right. So what business are you in, right? It's not just parts and service. It's
Right.
what do you bring that is unique, that is valuable to
Right.
your end user customer, and how do you marry that with strong brand recognition on the national level from manufacturers?
Right, exactly. So so our value added proposition, it used to be we've got the best parts guys, they can diagnose anything you need. Now we have customers that already have done their own self-diagnosis. Sometimes it's wrong, but they've done their own self-diagnosis. They come to us knowing what they want. Well, so if they can do that, then we have to separate ourselves from our competition by making it super easy for them to buy it, super easy for them to get it because we offer it at a fair price, and then super easy for it to get into their hands through our distribution network.
You are speaking my language, my friend. You and I are a kindred spirit. I think this is a great time to talk about the mistakes you've seen other companies make, or even if you're willing to share a couple of the things you guys learned as you were adopting technology. Like,
Yeah.
I think everyone I talk to, they know they need to adopt more technology in their business, but they don't really know what to do. And there might be some people out there listening who could benefit from your experience.
Well, I can't speak to what other companies have done, but I know that, human nature, once you try something and you don't see results right away, you tend to give up. You go back to your old habits. I see the same thing that we've done in technology. We come up with what I think is a pretty good idea. We push it out to our team. And if they don't see results right away, it's very easy to fall back to well, we don't really need to do that. And we're pretty successful doing it the way we've always done it. So why don't we just, why put any resources towards that? We'll just keep doing something else. That's giving up too soon is not the way to go. You've got to keep changing. You've got to keep trying to look for what it is that's going to give you that advantage over your competition.
Do I ever agree with you on that? I got two things to say about that. One of my favorite quotes is people have convinced themselves that what they don't do doesn't work.
Right.
And sometimes
sure.
It's just that they haven't done it long enough to give it time to work. And the second thing, as a podcast host, I am very grateful for something called Podfade, which is where people get really excited and they launch a podcast, and then about 6 episodes or rather 6 months later and about 12 episodes later, they're out. And
Right.
someone who's now been doing it for years and has, dozens and dozens of interviews, it's my like competitive advantage. I told someone recently, I said the end times could start and I'd still put out an episode next Monday. And I think that's the attitude you have to be. You have to be doggedly determined to really see these strategies through to the end, because they don't have a quick uptake.
Right.
You and I were talking about hockey before we got live, and
Right.
there's something called a hockey stick curve, which is very, very flat with almost no results. And then all of a sudden you hit that magic point and it goes
Right.
straight up.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, stick with it.
For sure.
Yeah. So I'd like you to, we talked a bit about the past. Give us a little bit of a prediction about where you just see the future of sales and marketing. Let's just go forward a few years here. What's coming?
Well, I mean, it would be hard for anybody to imagine a world where the Amazon effect doesn't come into play for our industry. I mean, you need to be able to, when that customer is just thinking about, what I need, I forgot to order a brake drum, or I forgot to order a set of brake pads. I'm thinking about it right now. I'm going to pull out my phone, get on it, and place the order. I mean, that's where we're going. So we need to make sure that we have that window available for our customer to do that. And that comes from, there's simple ways to do it, and then there's the complex ways to do it. The simple way to do it, we've already done. We've put a very simple order form on our website. So in our websites, it's intelligently designed so it works on any device. And somebody, if they know their part number, they can go in and say, hey, I want this, and our parts guys will get it for them, verify with them before they ship it or deliver it. But it's an easy way for them to communicate with us. It's not the right way. The right way, of course, is to have the e-commerce site where when they go and they place their order, pick tickets are generated automatically, purchase orders are generated automatically, and it just flows through the system again, just like our parts counter guys typed it up.
And you mentioned e-commerce. Have you fully integrated that into your site at this point?
We are working on it.
You're working on it, yeah.
That is a huge undertaking. Probably the biggest challenge is, again, a 102-year-old company. We have our first computer system, I think, was in the late 60s, early 70s. I mean, we have parts that are in today's system that are that old, but the product descriptions all need to, over time, they've just, they're perfect for our guys that know what they're looking for, but they're not really ready for the end user to search for them correctly. So again, if they know a part number, that's easy. If they are looking for something and they put in a product description, we need to make sure that our system adapts to what they're searching for so they can find it easy.
Yeah. Anybody that's interested in learning more about e-commerce, episode 61 of the Heavy Duty Parts Report, I had Chris Harrington from Gen Alpha. That's their whole business is e-commerce. And we're bringing them back next month. We actually not only have a second episode where we're going to talk about kind of everything you need to know to get started, but we've got a webinar that's going to be like next level advanced tips, completely free. I'll make sure you get a link. I'm sure you'd like to listen in to see what they have to say. Yeah. Sure. And anybody else said, don't worry, that'll be published widely. So before we end our conversation, Henry, if there's just kind of one thing you want people to think about, what's that thing that you want to leave them with?
Well, really, I mean, you've got to just keep searching for what separates you from your competition. I mean, if we're talking to other distributors, it's got to be, find your niche, find what you're good at, and invest in that. Like for us, we're good at inventory. We're stocked. We must have $10 million worth of inventory. We've got branches. We've got a whole network in upstate New York and upstate Pennsylvania. So we've got regionally, we're very strong, and we can get to anybody within a day in our network. Technology, we've been weak at. So that's where we're investing today to kind of bring it all together to just make that shopping experience even better for our customers.
Great advice. And basically, Henry, you want people to be successful, just stay away from your backyard. Go be successful in Texas.
There you go. There you go.
You've been watching HDPR Live. I'm your host, Jamie Irvin. We've been speaking with Henry Cook from Cook Brothers. To support the Real Men Wear Pink campaign, please go to heavydutypartsreport.com/pink. That's going to redirect you to Henry's page. Let's help him hit his goal of raising $2,500. I've made my contribution. I'm sure you can help Henry out and support this wonderful, wonderful cause. Henry, thank you for being on HDPR Live today.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me.
you can watch our next video. Make sure to click the like button, write a comment, and don't forget to subscribe.